Hi, I'm Kenny Anderson, Director of Multicultural Affairs for the City of Huntsville, and welcome to Impact. Each week we bring you information about exciting things that are happening right here in our community, and today will be no different. About a year ago, I had a chance to have a conversation with one of the newest academicians in our community. He's none other than Dr. Dale Smith, and he is the Dean of the College of Business and Public Affairs at Alabama A&M University. I know that's a mouthful, but I think it's also consistent with the broad range of skills that he brings to the table, as well as the vision that he has to grow not just the college, but the institution. We're going to welcome back to the broadcast today, Dr. Dale Smith. Welcome back to the broadcast.
Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate the invite back.
It's good to see you. It's been about a year or so since we last talked, and I know you've been very busy with lots of things, and I thought this would be a good time, especially at the start of a new school year, to kind of talk about some things that are happening at the university, as well as with your college in particular. But first of all, I got to ask you, 1 year ago we spoke. How are you feeling right now about things?
Well, I feel great, Kenny. I feel great about being in Huntsville. It's an absolutely fantastic city. I'm really enjoying it here. Also feeling really good about the progress that we're making at the college at Alabama A&M University. And so it's really a great feeling to be in a community where people welcome you. It's great to be in a place where you're able to establish goals and make progress with those goals. And so I have not regretted one day being here, and I love it.
Yeah, well, that's really good, I think. One of the things I find consistently across this community is that when people have ideas and people have various interests that they would like to indulge or explore, there's usually an opportunity to do that. I mean, there aren't too many people that stand in your way and say no. And I've also found a resiliency in those instances where people may say no, or not yet, or slow down. People kind of keep moving forward. And I think that's what really is one of the most representative things of our community.
No doubt. I think the pace here in Huntsville, particularly when you compare it to some of our neighboring cities, is definitely at an accelerated pace. It really fits with the pace that I move and the way I like to make change and make progress. And so being in Huntsville, I don't feel like I'm in conflict with that. The individuals that I work with, both within the university and outside the university, are individuals who are progressive and want to make positive change.
Before I talk to you about some of the specific initiatives that I know a couple at least that I've been involved in, a big fundraiser since we last talked, and I think that was a startup effort. Mm-hmm. And then you, of course, have started this big strategic planning initiative that's community-wide, that is really bringing in a lot of minds and a lot of ideas in terms of what's going to happen with the college, and very excited about that initiative. But I want to ask you about your most precious resources, and that's the students that come through the college. What has been your experience or your assessment of that experience 1 year later?
If you listen to our President Hughini, when he talks, he'll mention that we have some of the most exceptional students around. And when I first got to A&M, I thought that was just a tagline that he used. But from being there the past year and a half, I can definitely tell you that it's the truth. We have some absolutely fantastic students that come in, many of them that are first-generation college students, many who are in a situation where they're coming from homes without a lot of wealth or privilege. But they're coming there and they're excelling in their work, and they're really even outshining their peers at other institutions. We take part in competitions a lot, and we're able to kind of see how our students fare against students from some of our neighboring sister schools, and I can tell you that they rank very, very highly. And so we're there for our students. That's why we exist. That's why we get up and come to work every single day. And so to see their development and to see that product and what we're able to create by working together is a really exciting thing. Some of the things that we're doing in addition to that is really kind of focusing on some of our most stellar students. And so we have some exciting scholars programs that we're rolling out that will really highlight kind of our top talent of our students. And these are the students that employers are really coming to us and saying, listen, we want to really recruit from your student base, and we really want the top of the top students to really recruit from. And so what we're really doing is really developing that base of our top talent students. Employers are noticing, they're knocking on our door increasingly, wanting to interact with those students. What's really exciting is to hear a student kind of go through our program and say, you know, my biggest challenge is I have 3 or 4 really good job offers that I have to choose from. And so that's just kind of one indication of kind of the success I think we're having.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. I mean, I love hearing that kind of thing too, where students are saying that once they get to the end of the journey, or while they're in the midst of the journey, they have opportunities for internships, and they have multiple choices to make, and they have these various options. Some involve overseas travel and international studies, and just a broad range of things, because the university really is an international university, not just because of the students that go there, but because of the things that the university emphasizes. You have the Confucius Institute, and you have a number of other initiatives at Alabama A&M that really are hallmark initiatives for the university and for the community that really, I think, come alongside something that we see in our community often, and that's the progressive nature of our community, that forward thinking, that forward movement, that tends to try to unite and bring people together and address issues across a very broad spectrum. And I think that we find that consistently throughout the university, from one college to the next, actually.
Yeah, I think that's the case. And you mentioned about our Strategic Advisory Council, and which I'm very excited about, because we've really been able to pull together about 20 plus diverse professionals from around the community who have experience in various industries to kind of come to the table and kind of help us determine what is the future direction of the college, what should we be focusing on. And so I had a vision about this council, but I did not realize how the community was going to respond, how these professionals were going to respond, very busy individuals, to say, you know, we're willing to come to the table to really assist you in the college moving forward. And so, again, I come back to the community aspect of things, and we're successful at Alabama A&M. We're successful at the College of Business and Public Affairs, in large part to the community that's coming together and recognizing the importance of education.
And really at the foundation of all of that success lies, I think, one of the most critical elements, and that's relationships. That's you moving through the community, getting to know people. I know I've seen you at lots of different events, and we've both cross-promoted information among ourselves, sharing ideas, sharing information, keeping each other aware of what's going on, because I think that's important. And I know that that's something you didn't just learn when you got here, but it's certainly something that you have really enhanced since you've been here. And I think it's a message that you probably preach throughout your college as well among your faculty. I know you've said that before among the students, that it's all about building relationships in order to move forward in that process.
Absolutely. You know this, Kenny, and this is a lesson I think I learned not too long ago about the importance of relationships. I used to think it was very much about expert knowledge and content knowledge and about outcomes and what you can produce, but time and time again, relationships trump that. And so really helping our students, helping our faculty, our staff, understanding the importance of relationships, when we're working together, the importance of relationships within the university, but also the importance of relationships in the community, whether it be in Huntsville or whether it be overseas. And so very important. So something as simple and minor as a telephone call message that's left with you, and taking the time to pick up the phone to return that telephone call pays dividends. And so I think that's a message that we're making as a fundamental part of our strategy moving forward.
And it's sort of a throwback to the way things used to be. I know one of the things that you push strongly and consistently is the idea that faculty members be engaged in their community, whether that's through civic organizations or volunteer opportunities, or just making and creating the network among academic institutions, but making sure that people are maximizing their opportunities in every arena of life.
Yeah, it's tremendously important. We've got a great faculty within the College of Business and Public Affairs. But like with many institutions, you kind of have that institutional wall, that ivory tower that gets built up. And sometimes it's a challenge to get outside of that and to connect with the community. So I've definitely encouraged that with our faculty. They've responded very well. It's exciting to be out in the community and not just running across you, Kenny, but then having opportunities to run across our faculty and our students. And that's been something that's been really exciting as well too, is I'll be at community events or I'll be at business events and look across the room and I see one or two of our students that are there networking because they understand the importance of it. So, we've got a ways to go to be where I really would like for us to be as a college, but we made tremendous progress and I think we're going to continue making progress.
So you and I both had a chance to attend a conversation at AMC headquarters just a little while ago. And that conversation was basically focusing on a diversity and inclusion initiative across the city, being sort of facilitated by the U.S. Army, NASA, academic institutions, faith-based institutions, the economic community, as well as so many other people. Why is it so important for Alabama A&M to be at the table for those kinds of things?
Well, I believe that Alabama A&M is an anchor institution here in Huntsville, in the region. And not to take anything away from our sister schools, but particularly when it comes to a topic about diversity and inclusion, I think Alabama A&M brings something very unique to the table in terms of our student backgrounds. I mentioned to you about many of them being first-generation college students, many of them coming from challenging economic situations, and just their differences that they bring to the table. I think this initiative that you speak of will benefit from the institution being involved. I know I'm heavily involved. I'm very excited about it as well, and I'm a big advocate of our students being involved as well. So I think we add something to the equation. Everybody's important. Everybody brings something to the equation. I think Alabama A&M, we bring something unique to the equation. So we're very excited to be part of that event.
And then I mentioned the fundraiser earlier. You had a very important fundraiser earlier this year at the Huntsville Country Club. Talk about the significance of that.
So it was a silent auction, our first annual silent auction, and I was excited about it because it was an event, a fundraising event that was kind of out of the norm for us as a college. But it's very important that we figure out ways to diversify our revenue base. We rely on tuition, we rely on state funds, and particularly within the college, we rely on the higher level administration to make decisions about the things that are important to fund. But as a college, we have to be very smart about identifying resources on our own that we can bring in. We can do that various ways. We have grants and contracts that we are pursuing and going after, but we also have just good fundraising where we go out there and we tell our story to the community, and we do it in a way that is that gets people excited and passionate and willing to help and support. And so the silent auction at the Huntsville Country Club was a successful event. We were able to raise several $1,000s for the College of Business and Public Affairs and specifically for our students. So that money was actually added to our fund to support student travel, both within the U.S. and outside the U.S. That support also added to our student textbook fund. And so we have students that are coming to college and they've exhausted every resource just to get to the classroom. And so here they are now needing a textbook in order to be successful and without the funds to do that. So that silent auction actually contributed to that textbook fund as well. So we're going to have more of those. It was just the first annual one. We do plan on having a golf tournament. I know I've mentioned golf to you. I want to see you out there for the golf tournament, but we appreciate the community support when they see these things, and we're going to continue to do them.
Outstanding. So how can people get more information about the College of Business and Public Affairs and Alabama A&M University?
Well, clearly our website is a great resource, www.aamu.edu. And if anyone goes there, they'll be able to easily navigate to our College of Business and Public Affairs website. That will have our contact information. They can see a little bit about what we're trying to do and accomplish. But just like I mentioned with the Strategic Advisory Council, anyone in the community that's listening to this message right now that has a passion about helping students, that has a passion about education, and they're sitting there saying, I've got some resources and some skills that I can lend, I encourage you to contact us. I encourage you to contact me either by phone or email, and I'd be more than happy to talk with you, to meet with you, and see how we can get you involved.
Well, you referenced the first annual silent auction, which means you're going to be doing it annually. This is the second annual visit of Dr. Dale Smith to the Impact broadcast. We'll just consider this an annual thing.
I would love to do that.
And look forward to our next opportunity to speak with you.
Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate it.
All right. I want to thank Dr. Dale Smith. He is the Dean of the College of Business and Public Affairs at Alabama A&M University. And he always comes with lots of good information, lending a great perspective about the work that's being done at one of our greatest institutions. Very proud of Alabama A&M University. Of course, I'm a graduate of that institution, and that always makes me smile an awful lot. We hope that you will like our Facebook page, which is Impact with Kenny Anderson, and that you will see some behind-the-scenes photos as well as a video of the show that you've just been watching. And we hope that you'll tune in for our next edition of Impact. In the meantime, I hope that you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.